We mentioned new voters, which is also young voters, another way to say that. And now I want to talk about men. And here's something from the New York Times. This is written by our friend of the show, Shane Goldmacher. The prospectus for one new $20 million effort obtained by the Times aims to reverse the erosion of Democratic support among young men, especially online. It is codenamed SAM, short for Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, and promises investments to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and the virility in these spaces. It recommends buying advertisements in video games, among other things. So you're the man here. I will not mansplain you. All I will say is, duh.
And there it is, the Democrats' great new plan to connect with male voters.
You live here?
Yes.
Well, maybe you know what a zombie is.
When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
How horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
What could possibly go wrong with all of this?
Let's get ready to rumble! You can't handle the truth. Somebody on the top of the line!
Hi, I'm Pastor Marty. Welcome to the Afternoon Drive. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Once you are, smack the bell, click the word all. That will give you notification of my rants, my ravings, my undeniably flawless reasonings. Please like and share this video. It's the only way that we can get the word out that we're here. I don't sell you merchandise. I don't invite you over to a Patreon page to give me money. That's not why I do this. I do this to get information out. So please show your support by sharing this with others. Thank you so much, and welcome to the Afternoon Drive. So Democrats, who have been hemorrhaging the male vote for well over a decade, are now going to convene SAM. And they have been meeting at a luxury hotel where they are going to roll out a $20 million budget to basically create their own version of Joe Rogan. You know, the longer I do this, the more I realize just how much the Bible is right about everything. In the book of Solomon, it says that there is nothing new under the sun. Some of us remember back at the zenith of talk radio, and in particular, Rush Limbaugh, that the Democrats were so angry that though they were controlling the narrative on the TV, in particular cable news, that they were losing the hearts and souls of the American people because of Rush Limbaugh and talk radio. And under the leadership of Al Gore, which meant it was doomed to failure right in the beginning, they launched the liberal radio network. What was it called? Air America or something like that. And it crashed and burned colossally. I don't even think it lasted an entire year. And stations across the country that took on this liberal network ended up having to sue the network. And it was a debacle. Now, fast forward. We need our own Joe Rogan. You had Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan was a liberal till you attacked him. You had Elon Musk. He was one of yours until you went after him. You had all of these icons within the internet world, and yet you turned on them because as Democrats, in particular the fact that you are been completely hijacked and taken over by the extreme left libloons of the party, the woke minority, you insist that everybody walk in lockstep in 100% agreement on everything, and in any area where they don't, you cut them off. You tried to destroy Joe Rogan over COVID and ivermectin. Remember? And the more you did that stuff, the more you talked about toxic masculinity, the more you made men, and not just white men, but men in general, as basically the purveyors of all evil everywhere on everything. Explain to me again why you think males would vote Democrat. Look, even that bonehead from Louisiana, James Carville, understood that. We got too many preach women. Tell men they can't have hamburger. Tell men they can't drink beer. Tell men they can't do this. Can't watch football. Can't. And then he turns right around and gets on the Kamala train. And you guys, you keep thinking we've got to have a cool way to connect with men with messaging. So what are you going to do? You're going to create your own, like what, online betting app that in between placing bets, you give them little nuggets of your twisted policies? Because at the end of the day, it's not about the messaging, it's the message, stupid. Hey, Jimmy Carville, people aren't just simply rejecting the fact that you're a little too woke. They're rejecting the open borders. They're rejecting the fact that all of their jobs went overseas. They're rejecting taxing everything, regulating everything, having a nanny state saying you can't have plastic straws, you can't have plastic bags. I was in New York for a few days. I did not realize you no longer can get plastic bags in supermarkets. See, I'm old enough to remember as a kid back in the 70s when the paper bags had to go away because we were killing the forests and everything had to be in plastic bags so we could save the forest, save the trees. Even as a kid, I understood, well, you can plant more trees. But no. The environmentalists, the experts of that time said to save the forests, we must convert to plastic. Okay, here we are now, 2025, and in New York, you can't get a plastic bag. I said to the cashier at the supermarket, I said, look, I know this isn't your policy. You have to do, what corporate tells you. But I said, look around this store. 98% of the things that you are selling, everything from milk to mayonnaise, is in plastic. And she looked at me and said, I know, this is just stupid. She said, I used to use the plastic bags to line trash cans in my home with. I do too. I use the plastic bags for lots of things. Can't have a plastic straw, but you can put the beverage in a plastic cup and then give you a seaweed straw that after 2 sips, it's just all meshed. Now they've got this in New York City, they got this hybrid bamboo paper thing. Oh my God. You just can't make this up. But these libloons, they don't get it. It's not the way you say it. It's what you're saying. And the fact that you're now going to pay $20 million to figure out the syntax of men, which only proves the point you don't get it. You elitist snobs, you hate men, you blame us for everything, unless we decide to call ourselves girls and play on girl sports. Then all of a sudden you're for us, which, by the way, you femi liberal ladies, why are you allowing men to beat up women in sports? What's that all about? Can I tell you what it really is? Hey, all you feminazis out there. There's words you haven't heard since Rush Limbaugh went away. Hey, all you feminazis out there, all you old hags, you nasty, vile, male-looking lesbians, that the only reason you're a lesbian is you are too ugly to actually attract a man. Did you ever think that the guys becoming girls to compete in girl sports is one more chauvinistic move by the toxic men in this country to say, you women don't know how to even do your own sports correctly. Get out of the way. We'll do it for you. Oh, that ought to light somebody up right now. So they're going to do a study. They're going to spend $20 million, which, by the way, once again, proof positive that the liberal answer to everything, every problem is you've got to spend money. Got to spend money. Spend money. Raise taxes and spend money. And then come after a Donald Trump for cutting spending because your gravy train has gone away. Your grift has gone away. That's the Democrats. And again, they're working on the messaging rather than the message. And the message of authenticity. Donald Trump went on Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan made it clear he had an invitation for Kamala to be there. Kamala wouldn't come. She wanted him to go to her, and that it was only going to be a 40-minute interview, and that her team was going to have the final say over the edits and the presentation. He said, no. He said, you come to me, I turn the cameras on, and we talk for 2 or 3 hours, and whatever comes out is what goes out on the air. Donald Trump did it. J.D. Vance did it. You know why Kamala couldn't do it? Number one, she's drunk. She's inauthentic. She's a liar. She's a leech. And she couldn't pull it off. And now the Democrats, who have totally emasculated the males within their own party, that's why we get the Harry Sissons, and the David Hoggs, these soy boys, and now they're going to tell us how to what? Connect with the other soy boys that are out there? Don't want to connect with them. Guys that, can't make up their mind today if they're a boy, a girl, are they trans, are they pan, are they this, are they that, painting their nails and looking like girls. You know what? You've already connected with them. How'd that do in the last election cycle? Considering the fact that half of the electorate is male and 2/3 are white, you got a lot of work cut out for you. But I can tell you this for free. Get better policies. Just be authentic. Don't worry about the syntax.
Consumer confidence is improving for the first time in 6 months. The reading beat economists' expectations as progress in President Trump's tariff negotiations are giving Americans a new sense of hope. The markets are also rising on the news over the weekend that President Trump is backtracking, hitting pause on his proposal to increase tariffs on the European Union.
Americans are feeling a lot better about the economy after a scary March and April. We saw that consumer confidence in May went up. It went way up. This was better than expected. In fact, this was the biggest 1-month increase for consumer confidence in 4 years. And when we look at the trend, you can see that confidence really took a hit at the start of this year. You see this really sharp decline in consumer confidence. This, of course, was happening as the president was ratcheting up tariffs and as the stock market was plunging. In fact, confidence had really gotten to the lowest levels since COVID, which is pretty stunning when you think about it. But now we do see this significant uptick coming as there's been some de-escalation in the trade war. And obviously this historic rebound on Wall Street is also helping to boost confidence. And when we look at the internals of this report, there are a lot of positives here, right? People are feeling a lot better about the current situation. Their short-term outlook went way up. This was the biggest 1-month increase for this metric since 2009 during the Great Recession. Also, recession fears, they went down, and this was a widespread shift in sentiment.
Don't you just love how they spin that? The experts didn't predict this comeback to be this great. But yet, those of us on Team MAGA, we understood that Donald Trump ran on tariffs. He made it abundantly clear that when he enacted this, it was going to be painful in the short term. Stick with it. Don't panic. And in the end, you're going to love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. The only reason his numbers dipped back in March is because the media and the Democrats do what they do best: lie, and scare people. And then the people, because of podcasts like this, we kept encouraging everybody, just hang in there with Trump, hang in there, hang in there. They began to realize, hey, this is actually a good thing. Hey, there are other countries besides China who want to do business with us. And we brought China literally to its economic knees. I got into a discussion with one of my own children who was so terrified that by enacting all these tariffs on China that it would draw all the Asian nations together. Bull. Didn't happen. Korea came running to us saying, hey, all the electronics you got from China, you can get them from us. Vietnam came running to us saying, hey, all the clothing and garments you got from China, you can get it from us. Well, things are rebounding now because Trump has rolled back the tariffs. No, what Trump did was he came in hard with a machete and he leveled everything and put everything into, no, he didn't do this surgically the way career politicians do. He came in and he basically walked into it's like walking into a conference room, grabbing the conference table that everybody's got all their syllabuses and their coffee and their iPod laid out ready to have the meeting, and he just grabbed the end of the table and just flipped it all on the floor. And everybody got upset. And then immediately they were cutting each other's throats to get to America to make new deals. So what he's done, he said, all right, tell you what, I'll give you a 90-day pause on my tariffs to see if you're really serious about these new deals. Remember, we were going to have Armageddon. We were going to have a recession, the likes of which we had never seen. The stock market was going to tank and everybody would be broke. And everything has rebounded. It was rebounding even before he put the timeout on. Gas prices are coming down. Grocery prices are coming down. Soon and very soon, there will be some real decreases in interest rates now that inflation has slowed to less than 2%. But the Democrats are worried about messaging. So they got to spend $20 million to create the new syntax that's going to just go viral online. Hey, can I tell you that the American male, even the ones that aren't really into politics, and yeah, they do like to watch action movies. They do like to go out with girls. They do like to keep track of sports and do a little online betting. They also understand when they got more money in their pocket and when they don't. They also kind of understand that when the country's a little bit freer than under the nanny state of Joe Biden and the blue state governors, and you couldn't do this and you couldn't do that and couldn't, especially during COVID. They all could, but you couldn't. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The American male gets it. The Democratic Party doesn't and probably never will.